What's going on YouTube and y'all squad? This your boy Yocrates. This is your review for The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 12, Episode 1. Yeah, y'all should have got this yesterday. Computer acting stupid, so I'm going to try to hurry up and rush through this because my computer literally just froze on me. And I didn't notice it until I was done because I was so busy looking here and not looking here because the camera's here, the screen is here. Anyway, I do want to start this off by saying, look, I don't believe the storyline. Y'all know who I'm talking about. So I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened, but I'm letting y'all know I don't believe it not for 1 second. So let's go. So we get Kyle. She lets us know that her daughter Portia was going through it last year because we were still, dealing with the pandemic as we're still dealing with now. But things are lining up. But I feel we're probably going to go back on restriction. Nevertheless, she didn't know how to deal with it as a parent, and obviously a lot of the children did not know how to deal with it because none of us have lived through anything like this. But she's in a better place and is doing better post her bat mitzvah, so good for her. We see Garcelle and Sutton in Miami. Garcelle had her Angels for Humanity charity event. They're both single. They were talking about pretty much tag teaming on the Johnson. I'm just like, well, interesting. So we have Lisa and Erica, so they are still close and tight from last year. Again, Rena made sure she stayed in good with Erica. Um, so Rena Beauty is selling directly to stores. It's doing well, which is good. So pretty much tying in her venture from last year into right now. That's good. Erica is dating and having relations. All right. Lisa, I wrote down here looked good in her confessional. She really does. We know she has her signature hairstyle, but how she's looking in confessional, she looked good. She brings up that Sutton was on Watch What Happens Live and brought up that she invited Lisa to an Elton John charity and never got a thank you. And it was pretty much the whole when she had, hammered Garcelle about, oh, well, you didn't thank me for Harry's tomato sauce. She was like, but I did. Oh, but you could have gave another thank you. So Sutton's whole thing is, I invited you to this charity event that I was invited to, and y'all were able to sit at my table and everything, but you never once even offered up a thank you, though it's not that big of a deal. I mean, if you do something out of kindness of your heart, that's not really needed, but still, if you're going to give Garcelle this much grief, then come on, you got to live by your own standards. Um, but Sutton said she didn't do it to embarrass Garcelle, and Garcelle thought that it was for her. Crystal, and we also, because I didn't write it down, but Garcelle also reveals to Sutton that she's going to, meet up with Erica, and Sutton's whole thing is the way she did me, you're going to sit with her even after I defended you and Watch What Happens Live. So Sutton is kind of giving her the side eye. I'm giving Sutton the side eye because my thing is don't throw away this friendship. Don't pull a Renner. Don't do that. So we get Crystal and Sutton. Crystal's basement is still under construction. They're both in a better place. Sutton says her dating qualifications he has to be tall, educated, and like cats. And Crystal did say that in her dealing with Sutton and getting to know Sutton, she knows when Sutton does her little isms, and she just staying watchful. And that's in reference to the whole Erica thing. So then we get Erica and Garcelle. They're working out. Garcelle asks if she's going to apologize to Sutton, and she was like, "For what?" And the whole "I'm coming for you, come meet." So pretty much Erica was like, "If you call me a liar again, I'm coming for you." And Sutton took it as a threat. Garcelle said, if that was her, she would have taken it as a threat. But I understood where she was coming from, where it's just like, "All right, you done came for me already. Do it again. I'm coming for you." Now, in what matter, in what form, I don't know, but I'm coming for you. I understand it. And Erica's whole thing is like, okay, she doesn't feel as if she should. She was backed into a corner, and she wasn't going to fight still. I mean, she wasn't going to fight clean. Like, hey, we at a war right now, so I'm gonna say what I gotta say. It is what it is. And Erica says, like, if you like, Sutton talks a lot of mess. If you swing on somebody, they gonna swing back. Facts. Facts. I mean, Erica was my favorite. She's like, she ain't my favorite no more, but I understand where she coming from, right? Um, so Erica claims that the whole $20 million that was supposedly put into her LLC never made it there. So she doesn't know about it. Is claiming that this has been disproven. Garcelle's like, okay, well, I haven't seen this in the blogs, on the news, or nothing, so I don't know how true this is. The producers asked Erica about it. She has a bit of a toot and pretty much said to them, okay, well, Bravo can do their due diligence and do the research, and y'all can talk to my lawyers, attorneys, whichever one she used. But I'm just like, you need to be a little bit careful because they are sitting here funding what little bit of a lifestyle you have left. Like, you might want to keep that too. Just okay, all right. You see how they did some OGs on some of these shows. Don't think you irreplaceable, baby. Garcelle says she will not bring up Tom, not no more. Don't mean she ain't gonna talk about the situation. She just ain't gonna bring Tom name up no more. And Erica says she's legally separated. We get to read her kids are doing karate. They've been doing it for the past year. She's back from London from a wedding that she had attended. PK is still, excuse me, in London for I think maybe like a day or two. Um, Garcelle calls, they're better, and she's like, I realize that I just need to, in essence, just like talk a little bit less. Just let Garcelle talk. And it's like you missed the whole boat of what she was really trying to say. But okay, Doree, we gonna let it happen. And then later on that day, the break-in happens. So now we get Cal and Sutton. So Cal is broken up over it, as if she is the one that went through it. Now, let's be clear, she has been robbed before, but her and her family were not in the residence. I don't know if they were at the old house or if they were on vacation, but the same thing has happened. So maybe, just maybe, she put herself in that situation of what would happen if I was at home when this happened. But part of me feels like this is her, clinging on to something because, again, like, based off what we got introduced to Cal with this season, no storyline there. Like, your daughter's is over the hump, and you're over the hump too. So Sutton comes in, and Sutton says like, I've been putting out fires too. So Kyle's just like, okay, what fires you been putting out? She's like, well, this I believe it was a designer that she has. He's held up at immigration, because of this and that, and it's really affecting my business. And then you have Kyle just like, uh, I don't really think that that's a big thing. She was like, okay, well, I'm sorry if I don't have a gun in my head. Now, look, I'm gonna say this: one of two things. Either A, Sutton ain't hit. Well, actually, one of it could be a couple things. Either A, Sutton don't believe the BS, like I don't. B, Sutton's whole thing is the cameras here. I got a storyline. I'ma say like I got it. She going through it. It's about me right now. Let me talk about me. Or C, it just could be a combination of the two. Now, a lot of people were mad at how heartless Sutton was. I'm just like, well, it is what it is. And if you and Dorit ain't friends like that, like, yeah, there's sympathy and all the other stuff, but it is what it is. Cause and for a lot of people, it's like, okay, the incident happened. You're still here. Your family's still here. You'll be okay. I know it's heartless. It is what it is. Moving on. Um, so then she brings up dating. Kyle brings up, oh, well, Erica's dating. The son's like, okay, well, I don't care if the man is rich because I got my own money, even though you not self-made. But she said she got her own money, so that don't matter. And I'm just like, oh, so you just gonna be coming for Erica this season, which is cool. I just need for you to not be a confessional gangster. Say it to these ladies' faces, Sutton. Please, please do. Cal apologizes to her for not speaking up, and it's just like, well, it's too little, too late. Too little, too late. And I don't even want us revisiting that because you had ample amount of time during the season to talk about it. You had ample amount of time at the reunion to talk about it, and you did. I don't care about it right now. Sutton brings up, the double standards. Like, so I can be held to the cross, but the husbands are okay. Like, there's nothing happening to them. And then Kyle's like, oh, you mean PK? And then she's like, and your husband. I'm like, oh, okay, well, come on through, Sutton. All right, praise the Lord. We get Crystal and Lisa. They're at a venue for Harry's B-Day. And then you have Lisa like, I don't know if we should do this because of what happened with Dorit, baby girl. First and foremost, that ain't got nothing to do with this event. Number one. Number two, you're trying to make it seem as if you care and you really don't care. And here's the other part, and I'm going to be all the way 1,000 with you. If I didn't spend all this money on a venue, this, that, and third, and I am planning an event, the most I may do is just not invite that person and give that person time to grieve or, like piece together the puzzles and whatnot. But that doesn't disrupt this. So it's just like, I feel like you're, okay, look, again, maybe I'm just heartless. We just gonna keep on. So now we at Cal's house. So the first person to arrive at Cal's house is Erica. She comes over, and then we have the whole apology thing happening because of course, Kyle is sorry. Mauricio comes in, And then you have Erica just like, I'm mad at you, and but it was real playful like. So this is one of those where I feel that the husbands are going to truly be let off for this. I don't think, and I think Dorit is probably going to get a pass because of what she's going through. I don't think Kyle's going to get a pass. Lisa joins, and then Dorit joins, and she looks very, very plain, which it's one of those where if you're going through it, you kind of sort of want to present that like I'm going through it. So she looked very plain, whatever. Dorit says that the kids don't sleep in her bed. I guess Jagger was just in his bed. Phoenix had went to sleep in her bed, but she something I guess in her told her to pick her daughter up, put her in her bed. Did that. She went and cleaned herself up, laid down, hugged the pillow. Next thing she knows, her door opens. She's expecting to see one of her little ones, but she see a silhouette of a grown person. And this, so the man freaked out because I guess he wasn't expecting her to be there. Goes in, has her get on her knees, has a gun to her head, and one of the guys. Now, I want to stop here because I'm just gonna piece this together just so y'all understand where I'm coming from. So they done broke in, right? Okay. Well, first and foremost, they was able to get over the gate without nothing going on. That's funny to me because now I'm gonna leave that one alone. They so the glass is broken into, and then they come into the house. The alarm is not on. Now, what I thought is I thought something was wrong with the alarm. No, the alarm wasn't on. And Dorit had said that, when PK isn't there and it's just her and the kids, she tends to turn the alarm off, mostly because the kids tend to get up at night and sometimes walk around and they can set the alarm off. I would rather that happen than not have the alarm on at all, number one. Number two, though I'm not one who likes to do the whole rank thing when it comes to adults and children. You are the adult, you are the parent, and if you tell them the only time you need to come about this room is to use the bathroom, let that be that. And there are some security systems to where as long as the doors and the windows ain't being messed with, you can roam freely throughout the house. And your kids seem to be at an age where they're not trying to go outside the house. So again, peace, that did not make sense to me. So again, when that happened, the alarm should have went off. Popo should have been there, but that didn't happen. And then she says that because there were either two or three men there, I don't really care, but one of the other men was yelling to pretty much just put a cap in her head, right? And yelling this, but the kids were never disturbed. The kids never woke up. I highly doubt somebody being in the house yelling, your kid's not going to wake up. Doesn't make, again, this is something else that doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, she said she pleaded for her life, said I need to be here for my babies, this, that, and the third. And they wanted to know where all the bags and what like the expensive stuff is, so she showed them, and then she said to them, please just don't take my phone, leave my phone. Now, I don't know what the importance of the phone is, but you would think she would care more about just leave, take whatever you can take the phone to, just leave, just go, just get out of here. Plus, I would have been like, yeah, I wouldn't have said nothing like take the phone, especially if you have a phone where you can track it. Probably could have tracked them. But again, we're not even going down the direction. But she cared more about the phone, and the guy was like, count to 40, something like that. And I'll leave your phone by the gate. And these are some of the nicest burglars that I've ever heard of because they left it by the gate. Whatever. To me, there's just a whole lot of holes and whatnot. It's just hard for me to believe, especially knowing that she was supposed to be demoted. This happened shortly after the reunion. Shortly after. And then it's also interesting where Rena was told about moving her stuff out of the garage because of things that have happened, and she did it. And it's just interesting, even though these are two separate things, but you are in a house that has a security system and you choose not to use it. And then also, allegedly, this is the same security system by Teddy Mellencamp's husband that Kyle also used. And it's funny that they both had the same system by the same person and they both were burglarized. Anyway, um, Erica suggests that she goes to therapy, which she should. Kyle's dog begins to bark, and Dorit freaks out because again, hey, she's in a traumatized state. Do with this what you will. And Kyle's just like, my dogs do this all the time. Now, for me, it would be different because my dog only barks when she is outside. She's only barked inside several times, and again, it doesn't happen often. And if my dog does bark in the house, yeah, that is an alarm for me because she doesn't do that. So yeah, whatever. Garcelle joins. She brings her some crystals and some sage to try to help her out. PK calls because he just touched down, and then he comes and joins at Kyle's house. Which, and this one thing I also forgot to mention is that she said that her kids were with security. So you care more about shooting the scene than being with your kids? PK, now again, I'm not saying PK can't be with you, but the camera's there. But PK didn't go see about his kids because obviously you're semi okay because you're not with the kids, but you with these ladies and you filming. All right, whatever. PK mentions how his phone was on vibrate. It had rung several times. When he finally realized it, he noticed like, oh, okay, she called me more than once. This must be important. Got the news. So he's there. He's going through the motions and whatnot, and then all of a sudden, Rena pretty much just like, and I'm she didn't say this, but the way that she came off was just like, I understand that y'all house been burglarized, you had a gun put to your head, you almost died, you almost lost your wife, your kids almost lost their mom. But is it okay with me if I still throw this party for my husband Harry? That's kind of how that energy came off, and he said based off his religion, which 9 times out of 10, based off of that, everything that I saw there, and phrases that were used, he's Jewish, and it's just like if there's a Jewish occasion, you never let something come, you like disrupt a joyous occasion. So still do. We're not gonna give them, the satisfaction of this win. They get ready to leave. PK had left his phone, and Dorit's outside like, okay, well, hurry up, go back in. And then she sits down on the bench like, I'm okay, I'm okay. Through all of this, I didn't see either one of them cry. But again, none of my business, whatever. And even when PK came in and she embraced him, she didn't even collapse. She didn't even break down. And then she's more concerned about his well being, despite the fact you had the gun put to your head. So yeah, that is it. That is the episode, and my computer not freezing. So let me hurry up and end this. So thank you all so much for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and share. I will see you all for either Saturday night or Sunday morning for the Love and Marriage Huntsville and DC. All right, peace out.